Greetings from Costa Rica and welcome to this Friday broadcast. My name is Matt Rosensteel and today we are going over an ocean view reality check for everyone looking for great ocean views here in Guanacaste, Costa Rica. Every Friday I give level-headed real estate guidance. If you want to get in touch with me, you can email me at matt@costaricamatt.com. Today, we're really going to go over, first and foremost, why Costa Rica ocean view real estate isn't abundant, and quite frankly, why it isn't cheap. I get more inquiries where people are hoping to get an ocean view than I can possibly find properties for. And today I want to just give a little bit of explain why that is and give people a better idea of why it's not that easy to find amazing ocean view real estate here in Costa Rica. We will talk about 4 ocean view lots that are for sale, starting as low as $110,000. And finally, we will wrap up with a deal of the week, which I'm going to start trying and including here on my broadcast every week to give a property that I think has an extremely attractive price. Today, we'll be talking about a very big undeveloped lot in a prime location, really where I feel that the price now brings us really close to what I would call just an outright fire sale. If you're looking for basic information about the process of buying real estate here in Costa Rica, do be sure to log on to costaricamatt.com and request my V-Book, a 20-plus video chapter compendium of all of the basic information about real estate here in Guanacaste, Costa Rica. And do remember that I serve clients looking to buy and sell real estate in the areas from Playa Potrero up north all the way down here through Playa Junquial, where I am sitting today. Without further ado, let's start talking about Costa Rica ocean view real estate and specifically why it is not as abundant as people may hope. In fact, 9 times out of 10 when people write to me looking for real estate or something close to that number, they're hoping that they can get either oceanfront or ocean view real estate. And the primary reason that makes these properties scarce and very high in demand is that in 1977, the Costa Rica government passed the Ley sobre la Zona Marítima Terrestre, which was law number 6043 for those keeping track. And that law established strict regulation of the maritime zone, which they defined as the first 200 meters inland from the high tide line on the ocean. Importantly, one thing I want to mention is that Law 6043 also protects vegetation in that 200-meter zone, which is critical to our discussion about ocean views. I want to bring up some graphics to quickly explain how this works. These may look like AI-generated professional images, but believe it or not, I was able to put these together myself. So essentially what Law 6043 did was define that the first 50 meters, here we go, from that average high tide line up onto the beach inland everywhere throughout Costa Rica was defined as the public zone, inalienable property that belonged to the people of the state and that really became absolutely undevelopable property. So above that 50-meter zone that is the public zone, it also established that the next 150 meters of coastline would be a lease or concession zone, where the only way that people could develop properties there would be through first signing a lease contract with the local municipality that was in control of that area. That also has to be approved by the Instituto de Costarricense de Turismo, or the ICT. So effectively, by passing that 1977 law, the government made it very difficult for anyone to develop beachfront property. And at the same time, they protected the forest cover all along Costa Rica's coastline. And what you see today is that the vast majority of Costa Rica's coast has forest canopy along the entire stretch. Now, in this dry tropical forest that we have here in Costa Rica, you can see that forest canopy easily reaches a height of 50 to 80 feet or 15 to 25 meters. And in some places, it can be even taller than that. Guanacaste trees can get up to 100 feet tall with no problem. And in doing so, what they essentially did was also create a direct line of sight interruption that makes it very hard to get ocean views because you've got that 50 to 80 foot buffer extending 200 meters inland from the ocean. And therefore, you have to have a very tall hillside. Oh, I keep forgetting which way to point. The hill to see over that tree line has to be very tall in order for you to get an ocean view from wherever you're standing. I was going to try and do some basic calculations as to different heights that you'd have to reach to get that view, different distances, but I have completely forgotten everything I learned in trigonometry in high school. But suffice it to say that to get up and above that forest buffer along the coastline, which, by the way, that's half of what makes Costa Rica beaches so wonderful and special. Everywhere else in the world where you see high-rise development right up to the beach, where you go down to Florida and you just see strip malls and development right up to the water, it's a completely different feeling here in Costa Rica, where along most beaches in the country, you're dealing with really, truly jungle-lined beaches that feel like something out of a movie, something that's just absolutely phenomenal and beautiful. Not to mention the fact that it protects sea turtle nesting habitat, creates wildlife corridors, and does all kinds of good things for the ecosystem. So that forest canopy makes it so that you have to go up on a very high hill to get ocean views. And whereas Costa Rica seems like a very hilly country, it's not necessarily everywhere along the coast that you have a sharp enough rise where you can see out to the beach, and where also, you're still close enough to the water itself that developing, a residential neighborhood to try and sell lots to people makes a lot of sense as a business proposition, because really a lot of people don't just want to see the ocean, they want to be living near the ocean and be able to either walk out to it or drive out to it very quickly. So in many parts of the country, even where you have great ocean views, you're so far inland and really so removed from the beach that you might not have a lot happening and in terms of real estate development. And it can be tough to find those narrow few spots where the steep rise away from the beach happens quickly enough that it really produced a great business opportunity for someone to develop a residential community that takes advantage of those views while offering people a beach lifestyle. And again, we're going to be talking about a few of those places here, where we have 4 different listings throughout Guanacaste's coastline. I will also mention, Costa Rica also limited high-rise development in general, so you don't see a ton of condo towers right on the water like you do in other parts of the world. So yes, there are a lot more ocean view condos in other places in the Dominican Republic or wherever we're talking about that is elsewhere. In Costa Rica, those high-rise towers are extremely rare, and you only find them in a few places like Jaco, which was a place where you had titled beachfront real estate where the title had been established prior to that 1977 maritime zone law. You've got some of that development really that is now extremely limited in Playa Tamarindo. And there are only a few other spots in the country where you get high-rise construction that provides tons of ocean view real estate. Another huge example would be Playa Flamingo, where again, you had titled real estate that was that was grandfathered in before that maritime zone law and allowed for high-rise construction. So let's talk about 4 ocean view listings here before we get to our deal of the week. And first, I want to bring up a listing in a place called Marbella. This is in a community down south of us where, honestly, this lot that we're going to talk about that Jurgen has listed for $110,000 is in a community that feels somewhat very surprising because, you know, Marbella itself down here and really this area south of us is very raw, and you don't see a ton of development. And really the beachfront itself down in Marbella is a quiet, you know, sort of really, you know, there's not much development whatsoever. It's an incredibly popular beach with surfers. And down at Marbella, you actually have the Lomas del Sol development that I'm trying to bring up the exact location here and find it. Essentially, it's this neighborhood with paved roads in it, where all of a sudden you've got what feels like a completely modern, you know, paved road neighborhood with 24/7 security in the middle of this area, Marbella, that's just jungle and otherwise unexplored. And this lot that Jurgen has for sale is not yet on the market officially. We do have a quick video here what this looks like and the ocean view that you're looking at. So remember, this neighborhood here where you're seeing all these homes is in a very quiet, undeveloped area, and it kind of stands out for what it is in this place. The first time I saw it, I was really shocked to go up to Lomas del Sol. And if you want to know more, you can contact Jurgen. You can also find all of his listings here at this QR code. We'll have that $110,000 lot up on the website pretty soon. It measures 800 square meters, and it's in a neighborhood with 24/7 security. So it's a great ocean view option for folks out there who are looking for lots that are also in gated communities. Next, I want to talk about a Pacific Heights lot. Now, this is 1.27 acres, and it's in a pretty prime location. Pacific Heights is right above Playa Potrero, which definitely has to be one of the fastest growing expat areas or fastest growing areas that attracts foreigners down to Costa Rica. There are private schools nearby. The Flamingo Marina is in Potrero Bay itself. And you've got plenty going on in the community and nearby. Now, Pacific Heights is not a gated community. It is a, I've got to remove the video here and hopefully we can get the listing. Pacific Heights is not a gated community. However, it is, you know, it's basically this ridge line going up above Playa Potrero. And you can see one of the critical things that Mariam's listing has is a water meter already installed. In Playa Potrero, that is incredibly important because the local water distributor is not currently giving new water service to folks out there who want to get it. So having a water meter in place is incredibly important. And you can see here, the view is just absolutely spectacular. And one of the great things about those Pacific Heights lots is that you've got really solid terraces. In other parts of the country, you can see that ocean view properties are really just small cuts where you've got an incredibly steep hillside down below and not too much of a building pad itself. Here, they've come up with renders of a potential home, but you can see that the building site here at Mariam's listing is very solid. The price at $349 is about $25,000 less than lots that are in Pacific Heights that do not have water service. So it's very competitively priced. You have more than an acre of property. Here's the beachfront down below. And if you want to get in touch with Mariam or review her listings further, then you can check out her QR code. We'll get her up on screen here right there. And yes, her Pacific Heights listing is out there and on the internet. So you can check it out here along with the other properties that Mariam has exclusively listed for sale. Again, that one is in Playa Potrero. Next, we have a much larger property. This one totals 6 acres down here in the community near Playa Negra. It's known as Pura Jungla. This is actually 3 lots that are totaling 2.5 hectares or 24,955 square meters. These 3 separate lots are listed by my colleague and business partner, Larry Graziano. You can check out Larry's listings here at this QR code. And these 3 lots, again, are in the community of Pura Jungla. We're going to bring up the listing here as soon as I bring it up on stage now. There we go. And let's see. Here we go. The listing profile, it's actually 6 acres in total. You've got a ton of space across 3 different lots. So if you're out there and looking to develop spec homes or do several projects, or if you just want an enormous property for yourselves, this has an asking price of $475,000 or just over $150,000 per lot. Pura Jungla is a great place where the developer roped off huge swaths of forest for green zones. So you actually have forest between the 2 sides of the community. It's up in an area where you would see all kinds of amazing wildlife, where they've done a spectacular job preserving the surrounding forest cover. And again, if you want to find out more about that 6 ocean view acres, you can check out Larry's listings by scanning this QR code here. Before we get to the deal of the week, I want to announce a new listing of my own, an ocean view property that is up in Playa Flamingo. And if you've been following my listings closely, you'll actually recognize the home next door is Casa Visión. We actually just published this listing today. It's a full acre of property here overlooking Playa Brasilito and Conchal. It's on Flamingo's prestigious South Ridge, where you're just a quick drive down to the marina and Flamingo itself. Here you can see the layout. They actually just reopened the road down here to the beach after years that it had been blocked by some erosion. So it's actually a very quick drive or walk down to the water itself. Sorry, I keep losing the pictures here. The views at the lot are absolutely spectacular. This is about 25 feet above the ground. Again, you've got absolutely unique views looking out of this South Ridge, where really not only are you looking out at the ocean, but you're taking in the 2 bays to the south. And we have Casa Visión for sale next door. if you happen to be interested in a luxury ocean view home, you can contact me by using this QR code to my left or right or whatever it is on the screen. And finally, before I wrap up, I want to talk about the deal of the week here. My friends David and Diane have a full hectare of property that is listed pretty close to some of the main areas that attract foreigners here in Guanacaste. Their property is up here, and I need to add the map back to the stage. Their property is in a place called Golpe, which is actually coming up here, getting close to the road here that goes out to your main, sort of tourism areas of Playa Flamingo. Brasalito and Conchal are right over here. You've got Grande and Tamarindo to the south. And their property is about right here on the road leading to this paved highway. They definitely have water access. The property is a full flat hectare of land, so you could really do a lot with it. And you're right along a road that's recently been improved and nearly really paved, though it's not that full-blown asphalt, it's another surface. But along this road, you now have great access out to the coastline. And it's really just one of the most beautiful drives in Guanacaste out past here. You're surrounded by this pasture land. You're in one of the bajuras, the lowlands in Guanacaste, where you've got cattle ranches all around you. And yeah, you're only like a 15 or 20-minute drive out to some of those major tourism areas. Really, it's accessible out to the private schools that people are looking for. And at 2.84 acres at just $100,000, it's a real steal. The property was under contract, didn't go through, and so they've lowered the price to what is really close to just an absolute fire sale for this property at $100,000. This is another listing belonging to my colleague Mariam. If you want to get in touch with her and review her other listings, you can scan the QR code. Be sure to reach out to her. She is one of our absolute superstar realtors on the Coldwell Banker Pacific team. I'll go ahead and wrap up there, folks. Thanks for joining me today. Of course, I'll be live again next Friday, February 27th. If you haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe to my channel to get more level-headed information about the Guanacaste real estate market. Thanks again, and have a great weekend.